Alright, so this is an empty Godot project. Point of this video is to show you how easy it is to create a multiplayer uh, platformer game in Godot 4, or this is version 4.1. Yeah, 4.1. So anyway, first thing I'm gonna do is just create like a little menu. I'm just gonna rename this main menu here, and then just like add two buttons. Yep, two buttons. Make sure they're not like parented like that. This one's going to be called host. This one's going to be called join. Um, and then I'm just going to drag. Whoops. I'm going to drag the button somewhere so they're not, like right on top of each other. And then right here, oh my gosh, dude, they're running freaking slow, man. Anyway, so this one's gonna be, I'm just gonna write host here and then join here, and they're just going to be like that, and then I'm going to create a line edit node, and this is just going to be where our IP is. We'll put this near the join button because that makes sense. I'm going to set the placeholder text to that. Yeah. Create a new script for the main menu, add a couple signals to this script here, and this one too. Text changed. There we go. All right, so we're gonna do right here. So we're just gonna save this for now, and then I'm gonna create a new script right here and call it network.gd. Call it network like that. Okay. So network. We're gonna say like that. I think that's how you do it. Let's let's run the game real quick to make sure it works. Okay, so we're not getting any errors. Sorry, I'm a little paranoid. Let's make sure my mic hasn't come unplugged. Okay. Uh, my mic unplugs all the time, dude. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a ready function, and I'm just gonna say multiplayer dot multiplayer peer. Oh no, wait. Peer connected dot connect. That says connect. Connect. And we're just gonna say like player joined. Then we're gonna do the same for player left. Peer disconnected. And then these are giving us errors because we haven't created those functions yet. So let's create those functions. We're gonna do func player joined, and then we're gonna pass in the ID, and we're just gonna write pass right there. Func player left ID, and we're just gonna write pass. Cool. And then another thing we have to do is we have to actually create our functions to host the server and join the server. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our main menu script and say on host press. Oh, we have to add, okay, first of all, we need to add the thing as a singleton. So we're going to go to project settings, go to auto load, open up the network.gd script and click add. All right, so apparently we can't have a class name. That's fine though. I mean, I guess that makes sense since it is kind of a global class. Anyway, so yeah, now we can add it. There we go, right there, boom. Okay, so now we can access from anywhere. So I can go like network dot, whatever. This contains a bunch of functions and stuff. Love singletons. Anyway, so in main menu we're gonna go like network dot host server, and then we're gonna go like network dot join server. Okay, and then we're gonna say like network dot connect IP equals new text. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go into the network. We're going to actually create those variables. So we're going to say var server equals null, var client equals null, var connect IP equals, we're going to default that to our local host. So we're going to say 127.0.0.1. And then we're also going to create a var unique ID equals -1. And yeah, cool. So now that we got all that out the way, now we can oh, we also need a port variable. So when you say default port equals 55455, it doesn't really matter. But I like that port number because it's cool. Anyway, so we have our host server, join server. Okay, yeah. So host server, we're gonna say server equals multiplayer. No, it's like enet multiplayer peer.new. We're gonna say server.create server. I'm gonna say our default port, and then we're just gonna set max clients to. We'll leave that at 32. That's whatever. Okay. Next thing we need to actually make sure that our let's make sure my mic is okay. Next thing we need to do is we need to actually make sure like that our game recognizes that we're like hosting a server. So we need to set our peer to that server object. So what we need to do is we need to say multiplayer dot multiplayer peer equals server. I think that's how that works. And then we're going to set our unique ID to our server.get unique ID. Pretty sure that's how that works. My freaking engine almost crashed, dude. I think it's because I'm running like OBS and stuff, and a bunch of other stuff like Spotify and I don't even know what else. Anyway, so yeah, and then basically for the client, all we have to do is copy and paste essentially the same thing. Like it's not exactly the same thing. Obviously, we have to change this to client, create client, and they're a little different. So we have to actually pass in our connect IP here because yeah, because I mean we're connecting to it. So then we're going to set our peer to a client, and then we're going to say client.getUnique ID. Save. Boom. All right, cool. And then for player join, we're just going to say like print ID. And then we're going to say print ID. Well, actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to say string. We're going to convert it to a string real quick. We're going to say plus hopped on right there. And then for this one, we're going to say string ID plus hopped off. There we go. So there we go, man. Like that's basically it. That's the basic connection, right? It's pretty simple. Right here, this is literally like just 3 functions. Very, very simple. So what we can do now is we can go to debug, click run multiple instances, we click 2 instances right here, and then we're going to run the game. And all we're going to look for right here is we're going to just split these apart real quick. So our one on the left here is going to be our server, so we're going to click host. All right, so we're hosting a server right now. Click join. Yep, there we go. So it just took a bit because I'm recording this, but anyway, so you see these messages right here. Basically, we're getting output messages from both instances of the game. So glad they added this feature, by the way, so I don't have to freaking open up the project manager and click run, is just, oh my gosh, it's such a lifesaver. And you can see like the debug stuff from both sessions. Absolute lifesaver. Anyway, um, so yeah, so the reason we're getting debug messages like this, like one hopped on. So okay, so these IDs right here, these are the IDs of uh each like peer basically. And what this is right here is that's the client ID. That's the ID that the person who joined the game has. The one right here, that's from the server. So the server there, and then the reason we're getting a message that says the server hopped on, so the server joined the game, that's from the client's perspective. So that's from the client saying that, oh, when I joined the game, because the way that this function works right here, this peer connected signal works, uh, it triggers whenever it triggers for every client that's already in the game if you're joining. So like if you're joining a game, your game is going to see that as other players joining the game. Every other player that's already in the game, you're going to recognize that as they're joining the game. So it's kind of convenient. It can be a little annoying sometimes when you're trying to figure something out, like something's not matching up, like usernames or uh, creating player objects, But it can be a little annoying, a little frustrating, but it ends up being a lot more convenient in the long run. So anyway, let's actually get to creating the game real quick. I'm just going to create a new 2D scene. I'm going to just call this world. And I'm also going to add a script to it. Just call it world. This is important later, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then another thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another scene. Going to call it play or character body. Make it a character body 2D, and then I'm going to go here, just call it player. Then I'm going to actually go to the 2D view, and then I'm going to add a sprite to it. So we're going to add a sprite 2D, and then I'm going to turn on grid snapping because I love grid snapping. And then I'm going to assign the texture to the icon.svg. Holy crap, it's amazing. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a collision shape so that we can get collisions in a rectangular shape so that we can run into walls and stuff. Just gonna save that real quick. Gonna add a script right here. Just gonna call that player. Go back here. Gonna add a multiplayer synchronizer because multiplayer synchronization is cool. Gonna click add property to sync. Gonna go right here. Click player. Gonna click position. And then I'm going to click on this again, add rotation. I don't know if we're going to have rotation right now, but for now, ooh, what is this right here? This is a new addition. Watch. That is a new addition. Hmm, interesting. Okay. Actually, let's look that up real quick. Yeah, there's our. Yeah, watch. What is the watch? Changes are detected on process. Set watch. Reliably. Okay, so it's like okay. Yeah, so it's like RPC reliable and RPC or RPC ID or RPC and then RPC unreliable. So I'm assuming sync is unreliable, like you can drop packets or whatnot, it doesn't matter. Um so that is stuff that's updated very often. One more thing that I would like to do is don't freaking ever set this. Ooh, delta interval. Oh my gosh, dude, that's freaking sick, man. This was not here. Okay, all of this new stuff that I'm like like losing my mind over right now, these were not here in 4.0. This is a 4.1 edition that I didn't see covered anywhere. Um, that's very 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 niche. But I mean like you can replicate the delta, bro. That's sick, man. That's actually so sick. Anyway, um, I definitely don't want this to be 0 seconds. Every network process frame, right? Yeah. So don't want that to happen because if network process frames had like a, I'm discovering all this limits. Connect timeout, debugger, queued warnings, TLS. What is this? Advanced settings. We definitely want advanced settings. I don't think there are any advanced settings. Anyway, pick up your stream. Anyway, so yeah, we don't want that to be 0 seconds between. We want that to be like 0. What's like a decent tick rate? What's like 60 divided by let's see, like 1 divided by 60. It's like a decent tick rate. Yeah, so it's this long ass number right here. So we're just going to paste that in. And it'll probably, yeah, correct it to 0.017. Anyway, so yeah. That will be a little choppier, but we can add interpolation later. I'm not going to do that because I just want to get the actual game up and running. And with scene replication and stuff. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some basic movement code. The reason I didn't use the default one is because the default one sucks, so I'm not going to do that one. Just got some basic actions, say, yeah, just WASD, jump, yeah. Alright, so we gotta, we'll just define a couple variables here. We're gonna say move speed equals, I don't know, 300 or something. Funk ready. Let's make sure my mic didn't come unplugged. Okay, it's cool. Okay, funk ready. Actually, we're gonna say jump height too. I don't know. We'll say that. We'll say 100, and we'll say var gravity equals, I don't know, say 200. I don't know what I'm gonna write in here, so I'm just gonna say pass, and then I'm gonna go func. Check this out. Process. Boom. I don't use physics process. I mean, I do sometimes, but I don't be using no physics process, bro. Hate locking things to frame rates. All right, don't lock your game to a freaking fixed frame rate, man. When people have a high refresh rate monitor, they want to be able to see all them refreshes. All right. I felt scammed out of my money. All right, I felt scammed. Okay, whenever I got this brand new monitor, brand new, it's 165 frames a second or refresh hertz, whatever, fresh refresh rate. Um, and I loaded up Terraria because I was about to say, ooh, I can't wait to play Terraria on 165 hertz. Guess what? Terraria's locked to 60 FPS. I mean, come on, man. Don't do that. Don't make people feel like they're scammed. You know, learn some basic ass formulas that use delta for lerping and stuff instead of locking everything to 60 FPS. Come on, man. Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, ran over. So let's go ahead and I did not even do, okay, left. All right, so and then we're just gonna copy paste this. That is not what I want to do. Yeah, all right, so left and right, right? Yeah, so just left and right movement. Cool. Velocity.x minus equals move speed times delta. And for the sake of simplicity, also I'm not gonna add any like momentum or anything, so I'm just gonna set velocity.x equals 0 at the start of every frame, so that we can. Or wait a minute. Equals move speed. Yeah, we don't want to. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so it's just for sake of simplicity, we got that going on. Velocity.x equals negative move speed. Actually, I'm a dumbass and I don't know how to do basic math. Anyway, so yeah, and then we're just gonna say move and slide, slide, move and slide, boom, just like that. And then we're gonna say if is on floor, check for input dot is action pressed jump. We're gonna say actually just pressed. We're gonna say velocity dot y equals negative jump height. Yeah, boom. Okay, and then before this, make sure it's before. Make sure it's before. We're gonna set velocity dot y. I like to set it to 1, so it's kind of more sticky to the floor. I know, and sometimes, yeah, sometimes if velocity is wrong for some reason, like your jumps won't register, and it's a bunch of baloney. So I just like to make sure he sticks to the floor. Then we're gonna say else if we're not on the floor. Okay. Oops. Okay. Else if we're not on the floor, we're gonna say velocity dot y plus equals our gravity times delta. So that's literally all it is. All right. So if we make a world real quick, let's go ahead and whoops. I've been making a lot of 3D or working on a lot of 3D projects recently, so I'm just used to clicking the 3D. Just gonna create like a couple static bodies. I don't want to go into the hassle of making a tile set for. Eh. Dude, okay, sometimes, man, sometimes the stupidest stuff just gets me, man. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, just dragging this big face, man, like, that's funny, dude. You know, he's looking at you like, oh, by the way, you can hold Alt to size around the center. All right, let's make sure I can't select children. That sounded kind of strange. Also, for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to change the resolution real quick to 1280 by 720. Yeah. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to, like, I don't know, place a couple of these bad boys around, you know, like put one here, put one here. Well, let's just make one big one. Yeah. Normally, you definitely do not want to be placing static bodies all over the place. That is just asking for just don't do it. Just don't do this. Just don't do this. But it doesn't matter for now because yeah, just don't do all of this stuff here. Let's create just a couple platforms all around. Yep. And then let's scale down our player. Like half size. Yeah, cool. All right, now we're just going to put our player in the world. All these freaking static bodies, man. All right, so we're gonna put our player in the world, and then we're just going to walk around, jump around and stuff. Yep. Check that out, man. That is peak gameplay right there. I have to change the gravity size, man, or the jump height rather. Another thing you probably want to do is make these variables export. So you just type export variables at export and at export. Maybe not for gravity. Maybe you want to have the gravity set to some global value or something. Or like some server value that you can change. If it's, you know, since you're making a multiplayer game, you want to have some Gmod fun where the admin can just go in and adjust a slider and everybody goes flying up. That's kind of fun. Anyway, so yeah, so export basically allows you to go right here, click this, and then you have like sliders and stuff, kind of like in Unity where you have the public variables or whatever it is. I don't know, I don't use Unity. But yeah, so all right, so that's it, man. That's it. All you have to do now is add a multiplayer spawner. We're gonna add a spawner. Spawn path, we just want to set that to our world, and then we're going to add an element. We're going to add our player scene here. Just drag it in right there. Boom. And then so we have an error right here. I don't know what that says because it's not okay. spawn path. Yeah, I set that. The deuce are you talking about, bro? Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay, it went away. So, okay, one last thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and create a func create player ID, and then we're just gonna hard code some value for it to spawn at the vector coordinate value of vector 2. We're just gonna hard code that for now. Obviously, you don't want to hard code stuff because that is terrible and not a good practice, and it's a real pain in the ass to have to go and you know, find a bunch of freaking hard coded values and it's just don't hard code stuff. But do as I say, not as I do, as every single person I know says. All right, so we're just going to actually we're gonna go up here, say var player. We're just gonna say scene. I don't know, player scene equals preload. We're just gonna preload the player. With the new, they added like multi-threaded loading and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. In 4.1. So if you have a really really complex player scene, you don't want to like have to preload it all the time, or like say you're instancing it, you can or loading it and then instancing it, like you can like spread that between multiple threads. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so we're just going to go like var p equals player scene dot instance, and then we're going to say, whoops, don't want to do that. Player scene dot instance, and then we're just going to go like p dot name equals a string of the ID. So we can get node by the ID. That's a very useful strategy, by the way. If you're making multiplayer games, do this. Okay, do this. Very useful strategy. And then what else? What else do we want to do? Set the position, right? And like I said, we're just gonna hard code some random ass value. Set the x to like 500 and then the y to 0. I don't know. It's gonna be like up here somewhere. Cool. And then we're just going to go like add child p. Cool. Right. That's pretty awesome. And now we're going to just do like func ready. I'm just gonna create a player. Network unique ID. Boom. All right. So what this is gonna do is it's just going to create our player object. Because I'm passing in our unique ID that I got from our network. See, when you're creating multiplayer games, you need to kind of think in a very like segmented kind of way. Like I don't know how to describe it because I've been just like creating multiplayer games for a while. Like I haven't like released any because yeah, Mojave be like. Anyway, um yeah, so you want to think in a very segmented kind of way, like considering different like sections of things and how they work together. Because like I'm thinking on my own, and then like I'm going to have to turn around and think on like their end, like the other player's end. So it's a very like I don't even know how, like, if there's a word to describe it, um like think about another like consciousness. I don't know. Like it's a different way of thinking about game development. Instead of thinking everything client side, you have to think about client side and server side and how the clients will interact with each other. Like it's a very interesting, you know, kind of thing. Anyway, so we got network, network, network. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. So this is where it gets kind of interesting here. So actually, we need to go right here. Say we're create. I always forget to do this, dude. Okay, so var game. We're just gonna call game equals null. All right. So we're just gonna say game equals null. World equals or network dot game equals self. So now our network object can access our actual game world. Since the network's running on some other sort of level, right? Um, it's like some sort of global thing. I'm going to rename this because I hate the fact that it's uppercase. And same here. There we go. That just to satisfy my twisted psyche's tragic dividend. Um, yeah. All right. So right here, right here, right here. So we're gonna say game dot create. What did I call it? Great player. Great freaking. I don't even remember. Create ID or something. I don't know. Create player. We're just gonna say ID. Boom. Like that's it. That is literally it. Actually, one more thing because I figured this out the hard way. It's a very simple fix though. The thing with the multiplayer spawner is that it will it will try and replicate the scene precisely. Actually, I don't even think we'd even like need to do that. We'll see though. Because at one point I was trying to and it didn't work and you know, it was just a whole thing. So we're still running 2 instances. Cool. Uh yeah, so oh wait. One last thing. I almost forgot. So we actually need to go to the world scene. So I forget what the function's called. It's something like get tree dot change scene to file. Right, yes. And then we're going to do world dot scene, and then we're going to just go here and boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. And then that should, once we start the game, we host. Oh, instantiate, instantiate. Boom. So we got a new dude up in here. It's kind of laggy because I'm recording this. And there we flipping go. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. One last thing. Okay, so actually we do need to do what I was about to do and then comment it out. So we need to go here and we actually need to go if um ID is not equal to 1. So what this does is it checks if the ID which we are receiving that joined is not equal to the server. I don't really know why. I know why, but I don't know like why it has to be like we have to make sure it's not the server specifically and not other clients. Not exactly sure. Um, but last thing we need to do, literally last thing, we need to go to our world object, go to our player, create player, and then we actually need to say our p.set multiplayer authority, and we're going to set it to ID. And there's another one. All right, cool. So we just need to do that, and then once we run the game, we should have a multiplayer thing up and running right in here. So we have our guy here, and then we have another guy here, and we're stacked on top of each other. Okay, it looks like we're still trying to move each other, but I'm not exactly sure why that's happening. Okay. Yeah, I do know why that's happening. Okay, seriously, last thing right now. Seriously, last thing. Seriously, last thing. All we need to do is say up here, if not multiplayer, if not is multiplayer authority, return. Literally, that's it. And now we shouldn't have that shaking going on. Oh, that's kind of embarrassing, bro. I've been playing Soldat. Bro, literally getting, like, stream sniped, bro. what did I even say, dude? Okay, but yeah, so this is literally getting stream sniped, bro. So yeah, this is our multiplayer game, bro. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. The reason it's kind of is jittery is because I set that like what's it called? That multiplayer, yeah, replication interval. Turn that up. And you can fix that with some basic interpolation and stuff. Like instead of syncing the actual position, you could synchronize some goal position. Like you could set some goal position to your actual position and then just like have that synced instead. So and then like interpolate or whatever. Uh, so yeah, bro, like you could just take this system here and do whatever you want. Like obviously network coding gets a little more complicated, and we can add another player actually. Yeah, how long is this video, bro? It's been 35 minutes. Interesting. Okay, let's run 4 instances. It's gonna take quite a while to load. Whoops. Why does it do this, bro? Let me do this. Host, join, join, join. So we have 4 players right now. We got 4 players up in this piece. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. But yeah, we got 4 players up in here. We can jump around and fart on each other's heads. You know, like, yeah. Okay, so this guy right here is literally just stuck. Okay, now he's not. Yeah. So that's it, man. Like that's it. That's a multiplayer game right there, right here. This is it. This is how you do it. All right. Thanks for watching. Use this video to do stuff that you have to do. Where you make a multiplayer game and make it to where it's better than every other game ever. You can do some stuff. But yeah, they made it super simple in 4.0 or 4.0, and then 4.1 just expanded on it. I mean, that's it. Like that's literally all you need to do to get started. Um, so yeah, take this code and take this project. Just watch this video a billion times. Like subscribe and stuff, and yeah, that's it. That's literally it. 35 minutes, 36 minutes, 37 minutes, 38 minutes. Yep. Like that's all the time it takes to get this up and running, where it used to take a lot freaking longer, man. Trust me. Especially with when you had to do all this like interpolate or not interpolation, but um like synchronization stuff, and oh my gosh, dude. And the thing about it is that 4.0 takes care of all of that crazy stuff for you, man. It takes care of like histories and like position histories. What you used to do is you have to like add a bunch of histories to like an array and give it like a timestamp and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it handles all that stuff for you. Like smooth movement even at 100 plus ping. I guarantee like I can show you, dude. I can show you. So run multiple. I'm just gonna go 2 instances. This is for all the networking nerds out there. There's this program called Clumsy. I think it's open source. Let me turn on lag. Let me turn on all of this stuff, dude. And I'm gonna show you how good. It's like this basically simulates real conditions, real network conditions. Uh, you know, so it's doing all that stuff. Let's run 2 instances and see. Let me show you. Host a game, join a game. Yeah, for all of this stuff turned on right now at 50 ping, this is simulating real conditions. It's not fantastic, you will need to, you know, implement some of your own techniques and whatnot. Like interpolation and stuff. But I mean, from what I've seen though, really from what I've seen, uh, even like real world conditions are not this bad. Like if you're playing with somebody on the other side of the world, like if we up this to 100 milliseconds, like if you know anything about networking, real conditions typically aren't even this bad, you know. And this could easily be fixed with some extrapolation, interpolation, just some basic stuff. And this is almost unnoticeable in real cases. Um, but yeah, just take it and run. Just experiment with your own techniques. Interpolation, extrapolation. Is it interpol? Is it extrapolation or extrapolation? Depends on the emphasis. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, here's a good starting point. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm going to hit the stop recording button because this is 41 minutes long. All right, I'm going to publish this. Excuse me, I just burped. All right, see ya.